In this AlignMix video, you will learn how to import data into a Canadian FSA map. But before you can do that import, you first need to purchase the Canadian add-on, and you can purchase that Canadian map through the AlignMix website. When you've done that, you can then open up a Canadian map. To do that, you click on File, New Project, and then you select Canada from this drop-down menu, and then click on Finish. This will reconfigure the base settings here in your AlignMix file. By default, the USA 5-digit zip code map is the base geography that shows up when you launch AlignMix. If you only work in Canadian FSAs, you can set this map as your default settings in the AlignMix options. Now that we have our Canadian map ready to go, let's take a look at the Excel file to look at the data that we are about to import into this file. We will start by importing our FSA to territory data. Now this process is identical to the zip to territory import. We will be importing the FSAs, assigning the FSAs to a territory ID and name, and at the same time, we will build a hierarchy where the territories are assigned to districts, and also we will import a sales rep that is assigned to each territory. So now let's minimize our Excel file and start this import. To start the import, you click on File, Import, Import your data, and then you select the file for import and click on Open. By default, AlignMix will show you the first worksheet in that workbook we've just selected, and those column labels will appear here on the left. If you wanted to import from a different worksheet, you would simply click on the back button and select the worksheet for import down here. But for now, we'll stick with the first worksheet and click on Next. Here on the left side, we see all the column labels that are found in that Excel file. What we need to do now is drag these columns from the left to the corresponding sections on the right. So the FSA gets dragged to the FSA, and as I do that, you'll see a lot of the other categories have collapsed. And that's because AlignMix now knows what we are about to import, and it gets rid of the other sections just to make your life easier. Name, we can skip. Territory ID goes to ID. Name to name. If you only had a territory ID, then you wouldn't pull in anything for the territory name. The ID and name would then be duplicated across both fields. District gets dragged to district, and sales rep gets dragged to sales rep. From here, we click on the Next button, and then Next again, and that import starts, and then you click on Finish. And just like that, we've been able to import our existing sales territories that are built on our Canadian map into AlignMix. If I zoom in, you will see the 3-digit ID appear for every single sales territory that we've just imported. Now that we've created our geographic sales territories, let's go ahead and also import some accounts into this Canadian FSA map. So let's go back to our Excel file and take a look at that data. Here is our account data that is built on the Canadian FSAs, which you can see here in column D. We will be importing all this data linked to an account ID. We'll also import the account name and street address. All these icons will be placed inside their home FSA, and they will be segmented. These accounts are also assigned to a territory and to a sales rep, and there's 3 numeric data sets. So we will import all of this data into that AlignMix file that we've just created. So now let's minimize our Excel file, and now we will perform that second import by clicking on Import and Import your data. Select that same file for import and click on Open. Once again, AlignMix has defaulted to showing us our first worksheet in that workbook. This time we need to click on the back button and select the second tab and click on Next. Now you will see the column labels from that account worksheet appear here on the left. We now drag and drop from the left. You can see ID goes to ID, name to name, street address to street address. The FSA is the FSA down here. Segmentation goes to our segmentation. The assigned territory to ID. Same goes for the name down here. We will pull in the sales rep and also the 3 numeric data sets. And that goes to account numeric data. As a minimum, you do only need to have the unique ID for your accounts or the name, and then the assigned FSA. So you actually only need 2 columns of data in order to import any account assignments. All this extra data I'm importing is just to show you that you can also import data and create those assignments for these accounts all in one import. Now we click here on the next button, next again, that import completes, and then you click on finish. And now if we zoom into Toronto, you can see that our 3 types of accounts are scattered all over the map. Each account is placed in the correct home FSA, and it's assigned a segmentation based on the segmentation that was found in the Excel file that I just showed you. If we use a lasso tool, we can lasso an area, and when I let go, you will see a map query appear, summarizing all the data that has been found in that lasso, basically showing you some proof that we have imported accounts successfully with data. And there you go. You've just learned how to import data into a Canadian FSA map here in AlignMix.